Hey guys, so what I want to show you today is how to install these halo rings by Oracle inside your headlight capsule. It's a time-consuming process. It's not super hard, but the reason I'm doing this is because I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but I've got a cluster of LEDs right here that's out, and also a cluster of LEDs that are out on this side, which sucks because I have to pull out both capsules to replace them. Now, I bought them from Advanced Automotive Concepts. They do come with a lifetime warranty. So I took pictures, I sent them the information, and it was no problem warrantying them. It was a no hassle warranty process. So I do recommend buying them from Advanced Automotive Concepts. It's an online store. They are expensive, but they are pretty unique. In Canada here, we require daytime running lights for our headlights, and I just disabled mine and installed these halos to take their place, which they do stand out. They're bright and they do catch people's attention, which is what you're after with daytime running lights. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll start taking those out. First things first, this truck does have two alternators, which shouldn't really affect anything, but the LEDs, these anyway, are very sensitive to voltage swings. So I installed a regulator just for these halos. It's an adjustable regulator. I set it to 12 volts, and it's worked great for quite some time, but however, as you saw, I did have a strip of LEDs that failed. The new ones come with an LED driver, which I'll explain when I get inside the house, and they help control voltage. Now, these headlight capsules are pretty easy to take out. It's just the ever so popular 5.5 mil socket, and there's two down here and two on top, so we'll take those out. On my Ford F-250 here, it's a 2005, these top two screws are just short little ones. Now, these bottom two are tricky because they're way in back behind the bumper, so I'll show you a little trick I do to help eliminate those from falling and losing them. Alright, so what I do to the end of the socket is I'll put a piece of tape over it, just like that. Now I'll push this over the head of the screw, and it's not enough to stop it from going over, and it will fit inside. Now when I pull the screw out, it'll be stuck in the head of the socket. You still have to be careful because it is just held in there with tape, but and there we have it. So now we'll just go ahead and pull the other one out. Alright, so my capsule is ready to come out, the four screws are out, and we'll just pull it out. It does take a little bit of wiggling and jiggling. Alright, so we've got our headlight capsule out on the driver's side. Here it is. I just threw a piece of tape on it just so I know which halo is bad, because on the driver's side the bottom one's out, and on the passenger side the top one's out, and by the time I got in the house I'd probably forget. So now we'll just go ahead and pull out the passenger side. We've got both capsules out, So now we'll go ahead, take them inside the house, and probably start the hard part of the whole operation. Okay, we're here inside the house now. We're ready to jam this thing in the oven. We've got the capsule on a baking sheet, so we're just going to preheat our oven to 225, and once that's ready, we'll stick it in for 10 minutes. So while we're waiting for the oven to heat up, I'll show you the replacement parts I have here. Now, like I said, these new halos come with an LED driver. So this is an updated version from what I originally bought, which is nice now too, because should I ever have to remove these again, I can just unplug it rather than cutting the wiring. So what this little driver is really, it's just an electrical device that helps regulate power to the LED, and it just responds to the changing needs of the LED. So depending on draw for the electrical, it would adjust in according to changes in temperature, things like that. So basically it's its own little voltage regulator in a way, which I hope makes them last so I don't have to do this again. Something else I'd just like to quickly touch on, if you're thinking about it, which isn't really related, but I have LED headlights. And if you're thinking of getting LED headlights, I wouldn't recommend them, because when you turn them on, only one side lights up, and when you use your high beams, both sides light up. But basically, when they're installed, you've got one side looking down, one side looking up, and in the vehicle on the road, although they're bright enough to drive with, it just seems that one headlight is looking at the road and the other headlight is looking for the road. So until they come out with a better concept with LEDs all the way around in a circle like a normal halogen bulb would give off, I would stay away from these. They really aren't that great. Alright, so our oven is up to 225. So we're going to bake this capsule here for 10 minutes. And we'll set the timer. And there we go. In 10 minutes, we'll be back. So let me show you what I've done. I've put the lens facing up just in case it does do any damage or melt, that it's on the back side. Kind of like the saying goes, if there's an explosion or something, you usually turn your back to it, since it's a lot easier to fix your butt than it is your face. So let's go ahead and pull this out of the oven. So I am wearing gloves for this. It is warm and the urethane is sticky. So that's the whole point of sticking it in the oven, is to loosen off all this urethane. And then there's a couple tabs that we have to undo, pulling this headlight capsule apart while it's still warm. Okay, so we've got our headlight capsule separated. As you can see, the urethane is all soft and pliable, and there's enough there to go back together without a problem. We do have to heat it back up to put it back together, but for now we'll pull out this piece of trim inside the lens and then we'll switch out our LED strip. Just to make sure I've got the right, I'm replacing the right LED strip. We'll just, so the top one's good, and on this one we will be replacing the bottom strip. Now these halos come with two-way tape, and they do also recommend a touch of epoxy to assist holding them in, just in case, because the last thing you want is for them to come loose inside your headlight capsule. So that's probably the toughest part here, is removing them once they've been installed already, since I didn't think I'd be in this situation, but we are, and we'll get it done. Now, something else I just noticed with these halos is the other one, the original, I just had to fish through this wire. Now, I have to fish through this connection, which means I had a hole drilled here to fish the wire through. Now I have to drill a bigger hole. Okay. So we got our wire fished through. Take off this old epoxy. Now we're ready to mount our new halo. So all you really have to do is line it up on here, and I will put some more epoxy on each of the four corners. It does come with a two-way adhesive tape, which isn't bad, but like I said, the last thing you want is for this thing to fall off in the vehicle. So peel off the tape. Now we'll just go ahead and mix up some two-part epoxy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stick our halo down. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug this in before I glue anything, just to make sure everything's working okay. And yeah, it looks good. I just put it on my precision application tool here. And I just slide a little bit underneath where it can't be seen, just to be sure. I'm not sure if the heat would affect this two-way tape or not, but either way, the epoxy will hold it. Guaranteed. Alright, we've got our halos installed, or the new one anyway. Now we're just going to go ahead and throw this capsule all back together, put it back in the oven to heat up the urethane, and then we'll reinstall it in the truck. So while we're waiting for the oven to heat up again, as you can see, all the wiring is hidden behind the black trim that the halos stick to. And on the back, I just ran the wiring out the vent. There's a small screen, just a vent for the headlight to breathe. And before I put it back in the oven, I just squeezed it as good as I could, close together. All the tabs are lined up. So once it's heated up again, we'll just go ahead, squeeze it together, and then I'll clamp it, and I'll show you guys that when it comes out. So here's what I did. I'll probably just hold this here for 20 minutes or half an hour till it cools off enough that the urethane's gonna seal and hold it. It doesn't have to be clamped hard. Just remember to put all your plastic clips back in, and that's it. And if you're like me, you're probably gonna get urethane everywhere, especially on the lens, but it comes off real easy with just a little bit of WD-40. So yeah, there you go. I'll just go ahead and do the other one now, and once that's done, we'll put them back in the truck and we'll see if they work. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. We've got our headlights installed. Now we'll just hit the key and see how they look. Alright, so there we go. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but my eyes do. The new LED is much brighter than the old one. And same on this side, the top one is much brighter than the bottom one. However, they're both working, and it's fixed, and I'm happy. So there you go. I hope this helps you guys out. If you can take your capsules out, then it's just a matter of a lot of time. I'm familiar with this job, and it took me a good 2 hours just waiting for the oven and whatnot. But so if you're gonna do this yourself, be prepared to spend a couple hours on it. If you like what you saw, if this helped you in any way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll talk to you guys soon.